Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been such a long time, about over a month since I have recorded a video for you guys, but I am back. You know, sometimes life does happen, but your girl is back and I'm finna give you guys a ratchet story time. Okay, this is going to be a very short video about the time that homeboy had a foot fetish. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so I cannot quite remember how I had met this guy, and so let me explain to you some things about him. Okay, he was severely unattractive to me. There's not an inch in my body that wanted this man, right? But he was trying to pursue something with me, so I let him know that from the jump we could be friends. Only thing I would see him as was a friend always. Now I let him know this up front so he could decide whether he still wanted to talk to me or whether he just go, because I was not attracted to him in any type of way, and even his personality was a big turnoff to me. So first things first, he was the type of guy to where a lot of people would consider him like very looks challenged. Our looks was not compatible. He didn't even have, you know, really a nice personality. He was the type that you could tell like they never got no play back in the day. So now that he is an adult and he has came up on, you know, a good job, he got a car, he got his own place, he got himself together in the financial department, you know, he feeling like the big man. He feeling like he really, you know, taking control of some stuff. He feeling like he better than people because of where he is at, you know, currently in life. And mind you guys, this happened about 6 years ago before I had my kids. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of backstory about how this particular man was. But the thing about me is I did not judge him because of his looks, because back in the day people used to judge me because of my looks, because they thought that I was ugly. So in my mind I'm thinking, okay, I'm not gonna just stop talking to this dude just because everybody is like, what in the world is you thinking? Why are y'all talking? And nobody thinks that, you know, he is attractive. Because the way my heart is set up, I like to give everybody a chance, especially in friendship. Mind you guys, that's what I told him at first. We cannot be nothing but friends. I see you as a friend. And he acted like he was cool with that, right? I think I had hung out with this guy a few times, right? And there was one time where, you know, picked me up in his car. We was just, you know, finna take a ride out, you know, have us a good little talk, just chill. To me, I felt like that I could still hang with him, especially since I was honest with him in the beginning. I thought that that would, you know, actually mean something to him. But, you know, if guys would be considered looks challenged back in the day, you know, the type that never really had any success with women, they start taking rejection harder than anybody else. So I remember one day we was like literally like just driving down the street, right? Out of nowhere, this guy, let's just name him Kruger. I should have been gave this man a name. Let's just name him Kruger, like Freddy Krueger. So boom, Kruger came and picked me up in his car. We was driving down the street. Kruger was like, let me see your foot. While he was driving, and I was like, let you see my foot? What do you mean let you see my foot? Mind you guys, he was like, just hand me your foot. I was like, my feet are kind of sweaty. And he was like, oh, that's when they taste the best. Now mind you guys, at that moment in my life there were so many things going on inside of my head. Number one, I had never had an experience like this before at that moment. Number two, in my mind I was like, what if I never get to experience something that's this nasty ever again? And so, you know, my third thought was, what if I actually like it? So, honey, while Kruger was driving, I handed him my foot because he said, you know, sweaty feet taste better or whatever. And this man just started, you know, going to town on my feet, honey. He gobbled them This is my foot. That man, he gobbled my toes down like it was a steak dinner, baby. Do you hear me? He ate and left no crumbs when it came to them toes. He was slobbering them toes down like it was nothing. And no, this was not my proudest moment, because I should be like, no, excuse me. No, sir, you can't do that to my feet. Give me my foot. I should have never handed him my foot, but honey, I was young. I wanted to see, what are you gonna do with my feet? You know what I'm saying? It was very ghetto, honey. And I mean, did I enjoy it? Yes. And amongst us, you know, hanging out with each other, he had, you know, opened up to me about some very, very personal things from his past. Things such as, you know, all his life, people have judged him for being ugly. You know, he was not your average looking guy either, if we just gonna be honest. You know, he was the type of guy where, you know, he had man boobs. His face made him look older than what he was. He had gone through a lot of things in his life. So me being me, I was not the type of person that was going to judge somebody, because we have no control over our looks. You know, I'm just not that type of person to feel like that I can't be cool with somebody just because they don't meet society's beauty standards, because growing up, neither did I. So like I said, he was just opening up to me about his past, about some very, very, you know, sensitive topics, some stuff like, wow, you would never know this about this person if you would have judged them off, you know, their first initial appearance or whatever. So boom, I even had opened up to him about some personal things, which was not a good idea. Just always remember, when you're trying to open up to certain people, honey, anything that you say can and will be used against you. Do you hear me? It only takes that person to get mad at you one time and they finna tell everybody what you told them. So boom, honestly, I think I ended up cutting this guy off, because even though I gave him the warning in the beginning that I did not see him in a romantic way, I did not want him like that, I only wanted him as a friend, I feel like that, you know, he was kind of pressuring it to be something more. Plus, you know, he would make certain comments about me. One thing that I cannot stand is when a man is trying to pursue me, but he's also like throwing jabs at me as if he wants to, you know, bring my self-esteem down, you know, to how he feel about himself, child, because it ain't how I feel about me. I remember one time, like, we had got on FaceTime. He had made some type of disrespectful remark regarding my shadow on my chin. If you don't know, I do grow facial hair. I'm not ashamed of it, especially because I built a good following on my YouTube, expressing to everybody how I struggle with this problem, and so many other women can relate. So basically, it really, really rubbed me the wrong way that he would point out that flaw. It's like, sir, honey, I see myself every single day. I don't need you to tell me something about myself that I can clearly see that I have like no control over. So when he seen that had made me upset, he was like, oh, and I didn't mean it like that. I mean, who am I to talk? I'm ugly. I should have never said nothing. And he doing that whole thing, and it's just a lot of things that he would do, like acting like he was better than everybody, always bragging about his money. Like, that is a turn off, first of all, because I'm the type of woman to where I don't get turned on by money that's not being spent on me anyways, and that's just grown woman energy. I don't need you telling me how much money you make, you got this, you got that. Okay, and what are you doing with all of that for me? So like, I can congratulate you, but at the same time, that's not going to excite me, because that has absolutely nothing to do with me, right? So boom, I ended up cutting this man off because he was becoming a bit much, a bit draining. It's like, you can't force somebody to see you in the way that you want them to see you, especially if from the jump I'm being honest with you about my intentions, and I'm not trying to play you, I'm not trying to belittle you, I'm not trying to use you, none of that. I was honest, and it completely backfired, because once I ended up cutting this guy off, next thing you know, he was dragging my name through the mud. He was, you know, stalking me on social media, blowing up my Snapchat, calling me disgusting names, because a little while after I had cut him off, right, I started communicating with this other guy that I didn't know that they had any type of, you know, connection to each other. I did not know that they were friends or whatever the case may be. But anyways, the other guy, he was more, you know, my type. He was more of what I was attracted to. So boom, I had started communicating with that guy, you know, chill with him or whatever. So Kroger had got mad, and Kroger had hit me up like, you nasty. That's why he told me that y'all. And I'm just like, sir, are you okay? Like, what in the world? Honey, that man was so mad at me that I gave his friend, who I did not know was his friend, the time of day, to where he finally expressed how he truly felt about me. He called me everything except a child of God, honey. And it's like, that's why it's very, very important that when you're opening up to people, whether they are family, associates, people you have known for years, or people you have known in a very short amount of time, never tell somebody something that you do not want repeated. Because this man's purpose was to destroy me with what he was saying about me. The only difference is I didn't care enough about him to care about his opinion. So boom, honey, he was just going off on me, and I'm just like, but you suck my toes though. And every time he seen me, that's what he wanted to do. If he could have a piece of me, in Kroger's mind, having a piece of me was better than not having me at all, honey. And that man, he loved him some toes. He loved my presence until he realized, like, dang, I'm not getting nowhere, you know, just playing her friend role. So let me try to break her down a couple of notches, because clearly I want her to be thinking low of herself so that she don't start getting the big head. So, honey, basically the way this story ends is, he gave me a great first experience that I'll never forget. And I also had to block Kroger on everything, because he was like really like threatening to expose me about certain things that I had opened up to him about. Which, I mean, honey, that's on you. Listen, one thing I have learned is I will not allow people to, you know, shame me because of things that I have been through, certain experiences, because we all got dirt. Some people just, you know, keep their dirt on the low. And so, yeah, girl, I had to block that man on everything. And I blocked Kroger and never looked back, went on about my life. I got wind that, you know, he had went around telling people that we used to talk to each other. I never used to talk to that man like that. I understand, you know, he wanted to claim me, but this is what we're not finna do, honey. So he did that. He would, you know, he is the type of person to where he's always looking for a fight. He will make statuses on Facebook, you know, trying to down women, trying to down single mothers, trying to down people that do not have what he has financially. You have to be very, very careful when you try to, you know, tear people down because you may be doing better than them. Because if you're not humble, anything that you get can be taken away with the blink of an eye. Then boom, next thing you know, the person that you was down in the most starts doing better than you. That is all I have for this little short story time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with me, and I have more amazing videos on the way. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, join the family, support your girl, and I will see you guys in the next video.